If you need advice for a situation that you're currently in, keep watching. Hello Crow Coven and welcome back to our channel. If you're new, I'm Nyx with Crowmates Apothecary, and in today's video we are going to be looking at a certain situation that you currently find yourself in, and we're going to ask Spirit for advice to sort of navigate those waters. But before we get into the introduction of the cards, of course remember to leave a like on the video to show your support, subscribe to join the Crow Coven, and also leave a comment to let me know if there are any other tarot pick a card readings that you're interested in hearing, or if these readings resonate with you today. And now for the introduction of the cards. On the far left side, we have this polished rose quartz representing group number 1. Then we have this natural crystal quartz representing group number 2. Then we have zebra jasper representing group number 3. And lastly, we have the sunstone representing group number 4. So if you need to, feel free to pause the video and take a moment to meditate on the different groups that I have set out in front of you. And when you've made your decision, head on down to the description box below and then click on the timestamp that corresponds with the group that you chose. And now, without further ado, let's head into your reading. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. So in today's video, we are going to be taking a closer look at a certain situation that you currently find yourself in, and we are going to ask the tarot for any advice on how to navigate the situation and how to come out on the other side in a bit better of a position than you are currently. So you guys chose this polished rose quartz to help represent you guys today. And the immediate message that I'm getting from this rose quartz is this feeling of needing to have compassion for either yourself or other people during this time. Rose quartz gives off this like very loving and affectionate nature, so it kind of gives me this feeling that that is how you are initially going to need to approach this situation. But we're going to go ahead and get directly into the tarot, and we're going to ask for you guys about this situation, see if we can get some help. I'm going to pull them away just so I can shuffle better. So Spirit, can we please tap into group 1's energy? Can we get some information on either the situation that they're currently going through, or just jump straight into the advice? The first card we are seeing coming out is the 8 of Cups in the reverse position. So there's a very immediate feeling as if you are almost completely pulling away from the situation. You may be doing this sort of habit of kind of like walking away from it because you just feel as if it just isn't working out for you. Maybe you've given a couple of chances when it comes to this situation, and you've been met with this disappointment each and every time. And because of this, you're kind of not wanting to put yourself through it again, kind of thing, which is completely understandable. There are times where you do have to walk away from a situation, but it sucks because you do have this kind of deep-rooted feeling of like hopelessness, like I can't do anything more about this. It's kind of like ball in their court. I've done what I can, and now I'm just sort of like waiting to see if there's a better outcome from this situation or for this situation. Let's keep going, pull a couple more cards. We have death, so there is some need for change. There's some transitional period that you are going through, in the sense of this may be a really like big learning moment for you, where you are leaving behind any sort of past mindsets or past even relationships. The situation itself, you're recognizing that there's a need for you to finally step away. And this is kind of the course that I was thinking too. And while we do want to still remain compassionate towards other people, like if someone made a mistake and time again, they keep doing these things to hurt you, and they've not like said sorry or something, or they don't change their actions when they say they will, kind of thing. This may be a period where they are learning finally, and they will come to change, and they will come back to you and, you know, let you know, hey, I am actually sorry and I'm going to do so much better. Or it could be time for you to finally kind of step away from that, and you're realizing that it's you that needs to change in the way of, like, you don't need to give them more of your time or energy, kind of thing. It's you being like, you know what, I'm putting away this friendship, this relationship, whatever this bond is, and you're going, I'm going to elevate myself because I deserve so much more and so much better. I'm like, I deserve so much more in my life. And you're going to set aside kind of this person or thing that is causing you this duress, kind of vibe is the feeling I'm getting. Death is like a beautiful card to me because it does talk about endings and beginnings, and it talks about this change in your life, this mega transformation that you're going through that is going to bring you to such a brighter future. So I think that if you've kind of been waiting around for someone, or you're waffling on the idea of like, do I finally let them go? Do I finally step away fully? This is the outcome I'm sort of seeing, is that you're going to realize it's so much better for you to walk away from this situation. Lastly, we're seeing strength. So you're going to need to tap into a lot of inner strength for the situation, like how to move away from the situation. It's feeling as if you are kind of finally like standing up for yourself, and you are finally tapping into this power and taking back control for yourself. Strength also does talk about compassion though. So again, still having compassion for yourself and other people. There are times where you do want to just keep giving somebody chances over and over and over again. But with this being in reverse, it really feels like this has been such an emotional drain on you for some time now. And it's almost like you're at your breaking point and you just can't do it anymore. So having that compassion for yourself to be able to stand up for yourself and have the strength to move away from this kind of is the feeling that I'm getting for you. You need to tap into this courage to be able to step into this unknown of this transitional period where you are letting go of whatever this is and moving into a brighter future for yourself. It's scary not knowing, you know, where you're gonna go from here. If you do like let go of a friendship or even a relationship kind of thing, it could be something that's much deeper for you, and it's going to take a lot of time. So be very patient with yourself as well during this time. I'm going to pull a few more cards. This seems like pretty straightforward though. So I think that just knowing that I think the right decision is going to be this walking away, that that is just simply what's needed. You've done all you can for the situation, and really it's all about what they want and whether or not they're going to change and seek you out again, because there's always the possibility in the future that you go off and do your own thing, and say a couple of months or years down the line, you know, they come back to you and they're like, you were right, and like, when I lost you, I realized, kind of thing, that like things needed to change, and then they go about that change on their own, because you can't let yourself get taken down with them, is the vibe. The first card of the Oracle deck that I pulled is this Mimicry card. So really, the first feeling that I got from this is kind of, it almost feels like, having been through this so many times, it kind of feels like a slap to the face. Sort of like someone is mocking you, someone is like taking you for granted, like you're trying to earnestly like believe in this person and the situation, but it just keeps like burning you, kind of thing. And it's really like wearing you down, kind of thing, and that's why you're walking away. And like I don't like think that you should hold yourself in any sort of contempt at all when it comes to that, because it really feels almost as if you're like love and compassion and goodwill has been taken advantage of for so long, and now you're just sitting there being like mocked during it too. And you're just like, okay, great. And it might not be a like they're going behind your back and making fun of you, it's just simply a like they're making a joke out of like how many times you've given them chances, and like it feels like a joke almost. We also have sore coming out, so really with it being kind of pinpointed between these cards, so we have this transitional period here after the walking away, and it just feels almost like this is a joke, but then from the transition and into strength, you're now like soaring. It really feels like you are able to kind of reach this feeling of freedom when it comes to releasing this person, releasing this situation. And this is going to just catapult you into such a different like future that you didn't even know that was possible without this person. So even if this is a friendship, you're recognizing kind of your worth when it comes to your future friendships, and realizing that you don't want to have friendships with people that are like that, and you're going to be a little bit more callous when it comes to when you get into similar situations. You might be like, you know what, I'm not going to stand for this if this person's going to treat me this way. And you're going to realize that that helps your mental health way, way better when you suddenly have that worth for yourself and you realize exactly what it is that you are worth. Also in general too, there might be a feeling of still like moving away with soar. It feels like that freedom of flying, moving from place to place. So it does feel again like a separation because you were soaring away from this situation, this problem. So I don't fault you at all for this. It just gives off this feeling of you needing to really put yourself first, because you've tried to put this person ahead of you for so long, and it's just simply not vibing. It's not connecting with you. There's something going on, and it's so funny because I really wasn't immediately going into and thinking that this was going to be about like people in general, like just a specific person, but your group in particular really feels like this is like involving just one other person, and like you will know it, like you will know if this resonates with you, because it's just such an immediate like, yep, that's exactly what's going on right now. So, and you kind of are the facilitator of this transition too. Like you have had it in your mind. It doesn't feel like you're sitting there being like blindsided with this, being like, wow, I have to let them go. It's like you've been kind of toying with this feeling of knowing that like, yes, I should step away for my health and because I'm fed up with it, but you just have been holding on because you're like, maybe they really will change this time. So I think that you kind of know that this is something that you need to go through, and it's just, this is that little push more, I believe. I'm gonna pull just a few more cards for you guys today. This was a very like immediate reading. Like Spirit wanted me to get this out to you. So the first card we are seeing coming out is Ghost Pipe, and this says immerse in your shadow's wisdom. So you deeply and intrinsically kind of know what this is about. This may be even you kind of learning from your shadow in the way of like, if you are someone who hates disappointing people, and that's kind of like you're a big people pleaser, you may be sitting there realizing, hey, like my shadow self has me like bend over backwards to help people to the detriment of my own health, and I wish I could just like run away from that. I wish I could just finally like care a little bit about me. It's kind of like your shadow is telling you, hey, yeah, this is something you have to do in order to really navigate this situation. You have to know your limits, and you have to know kind of your weaknesses. So knowing not to let people either be a bleeding heart or you be a bleeding heart during this situation, because it's just kind of a detriment to you during this time. We also have amethyst with intuition. So this is you really tapping into your intuition and what feels good for you. And again, it just sort of like re-solidifies that earlier comment that I had about how you know like that this is the way you need to go with the situation. So believing in yourself, trusting in your gut and what you've been thinking when it revolves around this is like, you know that this person is not going to change, or this situation isn't going to change. For the very few of you that this isn't about a person, this is like about a job or something that you need to walk away from, you're realizing that this is something that just is not worth your time anymore and you need to get out of there. Pull a few more. Spirit, can you get any last messages for group 1? With this golden healer quartz, we're seeing the message of open the door. So you are the one who needs to open this door and transition into something new, something beautiful for yourself. I'm actually gonna maybe put this over here because my lighting is off everywhere. But you are going to be the one who really facilitates this and is going to be pushing this movement. So even though you are like, hey, the ball's in their court kind of thing, I want them to do something good for themselves. I think when it comes to you needing to stand up for yourself and go through that transition, again, it's all up to you. It's your doing that's going to help you really kind of finally put an end to this situation. Can I get a self-care card for group 1 to help them during this time as well? Excuse me. We have write a gratitude list. So this may be a great time for you to sit down and look at the things in your life that you're actually grateful for and the things that actually pull through for you every time, kind of thing. So it can be really helpful when you do sit down and give yourself that chance to look at the things in your life that are actually healthy and healing for you and put them to paper, kind of thing, because then you can physically see the things that do treat you well and the things that come to your mind first and foremost. Like, this is kind of more of a daily practice sort of thing. So even if it's just writing down one thing a day that you are grateful for, normally we like to write down 3 things because there's so much to be grateful for, and you can look back on them and see throughout your time of writing down these lists what you're actually grateful for, and it tends to be the things that come to your mind first and foremost. So when you are realizing more and more that people that are putting you through these situations, or a job or whatever kind of thing, when you're realizing that that is not on your list, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, I see, I understand a little bit more. And it really builds up kind of your confidence in the things that do give you that power and strength in your life. I'm gonna pull 2 more cards. So for this first one, Spirit, can we get any final messages, please, for group 1? That one just flew right out, so we're taking it. This one is Coco Jumbo with relaxing in peacefulness. So try to give yourself this time to really remain in like stillness within yourself, remain steadfast in what you believe in. Like how there's this turtle that is lazily moving through the water here, is we want to make sure that you also feel at peace within yourself. Don't go about severing this tie if it feels like this is going to just like completely wrench your heart out and stomp on it, kind of thing. I feel like you just know that you're at a point where you are just sort of slowly like moving away from this person or situation. So it feels like an easy transition because it's kind of been a long time coming. And while there will still be hurt there, you are able to sit with yourself and know that this sort of decision is going to bring about peace of mind to yourself because you're not giving your energy out to this person or situation anymore. And this last little one. One last message, Spirit. We have you are creator, and created that is the paradox of life and the key to the alchemical creation. I've never ever pulled this card before, so that is so interesting that it's just so it's one that I've just never seen even from my little deck. So to me, it is kind of trying to give you back that power into yourself. I'm interested too in the fact that it said a key here, and there's also a key in this card. So that might be something to keep in mind if you're seeing signs of keys, like if you notice your keys in weird places, or if you are somebody who collects keys, something like that, that might be a hint that this is for you. But otherwise, I think it's just sort of trying to really narrow in on the point that you are the one who is in control of your life, and you are going to be the one that makes this decision. I really feel like this is completely in your hands. Even if you're going in the beginning, you're like, this is the ball's in their court, they need to make the decision. They aren't going to make the decision, kind of thing. And so I think you needing to pull away is going to be you really unlocking that and realizing that you are the person that has to do that. Lastly, I'm going to roll your Astro dice to see if we can pull out any zodiac signs, to see if we can pinpoint yours or perhaps the person that we're talking about. So this will be either sun, moon, or rising. The first one we are seeing coming out is Capricorn. Next, we have Virgo. So we have some strong earth energy here as well. And lastly is Libra. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it resonated with you. I'm sorry that you are going through a stressful situation, but hopefully this advice from Spirit can really help guide you during this time. Remember to like the video if you did like it or it resonated with you, and subscribe to join the Crow Coven so you don't miss out on readings just like this one. And lastly, if you did get to the end of your reading and you'd like to leave a comment, I'd say leave a little key emoji in the comments below to let myself and others know that you got to the end of your reading, and also let me know if this situation is something that you are currently going through. Anyway, thank you guys so much for getting to the end of your reading, and I will see you in the next video. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at a certain situation that you are currently in and what you can do in order to change that situation to have a better outcome for yourself. So you guys chose this raw crystal quartz. I'm going to go ahead and show that off real fast. And hopefully with this crystal, we can really gain some clarity and true insight for the situation that you're currently going through, get some really clear messages to go along with that. Before I get into the actual tarot portion, I do want to roll this Astro dice so I don't forget. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this for you guys. This will hopefully pull out your sun, moon, or rising, or perhaps somebody who is involved in this situation with you. And the first one we are seeing is Pisces. The next one we have coming out is Libra. And lastly, we have Sagittarius. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And now we'll get into the tarot portion of your reading. So I hope you guys had an amazing week. Let's tap into your energy. So group 2's energy, please, Spirit, can we get some information on either the situation that they're currently in, or really just jump right into the advice for them? The first card we are seeing coming out is the 6 of Cups, and I'm feeling extremely pulled to pull your last few cards, so I'm going to do that right So what we are seeing is the Six of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. So what information do we have, Spirit? The feeling that I'm getting from these cards is actually a fairly positive one, but it is kind of a feeling of you maybe not quite sure where you want to go with yourself. This almost doesn't feel like it involves like a specific person. This feels almost more like involving where you want to go with your life and what you want when it comes to your future is kind of the like vibe that I'm getting. Um, with the Six of Cups, we are seeing this feeling of you're kind of fighting between some emotions that you may be having. Perhaps there are a couple of choices that might be right for you, and you're really trying to think of what could possibly lead you in the best direction in order to have the most monetary benefit kind of vibe. That's sort of the overall feeling that I'm getting from these cards. If this does involve a person, this could be somebody from your past. This could be involving someone from either your childhood or even just somebody that you used to know that you are now seeing like come back into your life. And you're kind of going through this sense of nostalgia, whether it's based on this person or you could possibly be thinking about like when life was easier, when you used to be able to just be like, yeah, when I grow up, I want to be this. And that was kind of your goal. And now you're kind of in this point in your life where you're wavering on that goal and you're just not sure if that's for you anymore. So it just kind of gives me this feeling of like you're almost like you're either looking back on this nostalgia or you're trying to like tap back into that like innocence that you used to have, and you really wish that that could sort of lead your life now, but because you've gotten older, maybe a little bit more jaded in certain situations, you're like, yeah, but that's not how that works, and now I have to move forward with this information and make decisions that are going to actually benefit me for my future. And that's kind of how I feel you're kind of carrying yourself. But I do believe that there is a need for you to break through some sort of mental clarity, and you need to make sure that you stay extremely open to communication. So whether this is with a person that you're wondering if you really want to deal with them or not, if you want to answer back to them, like maybe somebody from your past sent you a message and you're sitting there being like, do I actually want to talk to them? This does call for you to use your powers of communication and be able to open up that line again. There may be some level of closure that could come to you. But also to just take warning that you don't do anything too like hasty. You're not like sitting there trying to rush around and make decisions that are more leaning on the emotional side, using your mind to make these clear cut decisions and not go about it so quickly. Definitely sit with it, sit with your feelings, and really navigate how you feel when it comes to whether it's a person contacting you or if you're trying to make a big decision like, I'm going back to school and I need to find out my major. Don't make a hasty decision. Like, look into the things that really interest you and really look at it from all angles before you make that decision. But lastly, like whatever this is going to be, when you're seeing the Seven of Pentacles, you're going to be seeing some sort of reward at the end of the day. So if this is someone from your past that's come to you and they're saying that they want to apologize to you and have closure kind of thing, you being open and communicative with this person is going to lead to the reward of you feeling this closure. You're going to be able to kind of work beyond it now that you have this now that you've had this like discussion with this person kind of thing. Otherwise, if this does talk more about you being in a situation where you're trying to decide between jobs or if you want to go back to school or not kind of thing, this could be indicating that because you are focusing on your future and you are like, you're giving yourself this clear-cut vision that you want for the future, you're going to be able to collect all that for yourself and be stable and in control, especially when it comes to your finances. So let's go ahead and get a few more cards out here for you, group 2. So far, this is a very positive reading. I do feel like for some of you, there may be a feeling of fear when it comes to going down this path, because it is kind of like an unknown and you don't want to open up like potentially old wounds or anything like that. So just make sure you protect your heart during this time too. So if you were really hoping like maybe you could get back together with a person from your past kind of thing, and that's what you're thinking might happen, just be careful on putting your heart in there too quickly, like not jumping the gun kind of thing and thinking that you're going to immediately like get back together and everything's going to be perfect. It may just simply be that there needs to be a little bit more healing before that happens, if at all. The first card we are pulling out is distraction. So there may be something that is really catching your attention and it's making it hard for you to focus on the real situation at hand. So there may be something going on where it could be something clouding your judgment. So for example, when I was kind of talking about the possibility of like you going back to school, you may be like hearing from a bunch of people that like that if you go back to school like and go through this certain major and everything, that it might be like it'll be super amazing and like really easy and blah 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 kind of thing, and you'll be super wealthy by the end. But then you're being you're being duped over here kind of thing. It might just be that isn't what's for you and you need to get that information. Again, the Knight of Swords kind of talks about like making a hasty decision and really going forward like quickly, like taking action very quickly. So there may be a need for you to kind of pull back and look at all options. So just make sure that you're getting all the information from whatever this situation is. Look at it from all angles. So even if this isn't you going to school thing or a relationship thing, maybe it's about workplace gossip or something like that. Just make sure that you have all of the information that you need before you take action, because I feel like there is the potential that you may be somebody who does like to kind of maybe not even be blunt, but just like get to the bottom of things. And if you jump forward without that information, you may risk like it making you look foolish or something like that. We also are pulling self-interest. So you making sure that whatever this situation deals with, that by the end of it, you are going to benefit from it. So say, for example, there is somebody from your past who wants to like come and like talk with you for whatever reason kind of thing. Make sure you get from that conversation what you want. I still think it's a vital thing to have. I think communication should always be open to a degree. There are times where it absolutely should not be open, but make sure that that's something that will benefit you. Like you're able to ask the questions that you want and you're able to feel good about this. If you think that this is going to like tank your mental health or put you in like danger or anything like that, it is in your self-interest to not open up that connection. So just whatever is going to benefit you the most, because and it may sound like selfish, we all like, but unfortunately humans are all selfish at times. This feels kind of like you needing to protect your energy. So there's something going on where you really have to protect how you feel, and whether that's your like emotional state or your mental well-being, there is a need for you to just simply look out for yourself first and foremost. I'm going to pull a couple more cards for you, Group 2. Can we get any further information about Group 2's situation, Spirit? This first card here that we pulled out is the Rainbow Obsidian, and it says, heal your heart. So there may be something that needs to be done for you to heal yourself. So whether that is talking to somebody from your past, or it is you going down a path that you wish you had gone down, like before, like when you were younger, you were like, hey, I plan on being an artist when I grow up, and maybe you kind of let that dream go by the waysides. And now you're looking back at it and you're like, I really want to be an artist, kind of thing. That might be something that you decide to pursue, and that would be healing to your heart because you are really honoring like what you truly want inside. For the self-care cards, we have alone time. So this may be a time for you to have to do a lot of thinking. So whatever, wherever you are able to think the best, so say going to a beach and like watching the waves kind of thing, if that brings you inner peace and you're able to really do some good thinking there, it may be the time to have a trip to the beach. Or perhaps you're somebody that really enjoys going out into the mountains, taking a hike, things like that. You may want to tap into that and go about it alone, so you're able to give yourself time to really process exactly what's going on in your situation. So you honoring yourself in the way of allowing yourself that chance to pull back from all the noise of people around you and going, you know what, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go ahead and think about the things that are really bothering me and try to process these things in a way that makes sense to me at my own pace, kind of vibe. Can I get some more information for Group 2? Next, I have pulled Watermelon Tourmaline with Heart Healing. So there is a need. We're seeing it twice here. There's something that you could either be wounded from in the past, that maybe it is this person, like an ex, coming to you and they're trying to like let you know, hey, what I did in the past was like really crappy, and they're trying to come to you to like let you know that they're sorry for that and for everything that they put you through. This could be trying to indicate that whatever this conversation is going to be is going to lead to some major healing of your heart. But again, you might be afraid to immediately have that conversation. So hopefully this can kind of help you be like rest assured that this is going to turn out well, but there is a need for it. So if you're pushing your emotions away, and if you're not trying to honor your heart, and you're not trying to look at things that will heal you when it comes to that, I think you need to reevaluate that, and you need to do it for yourself, kind of thing. And then next we are seeing Waxen Crescent with I Manifest My Dreams. Again, this really gives me that vibe of like people who are looking to honor their like past dream that they had when they were a child, kind of thing. Is you're sitting there and you're able to pull it to yourself. This may be a twofold situation. This feels very evenly split between someone from your past and also dealing with something that could really bring about a lot of like love and prosperity for you in the future, kind of thing. So I am feeling very much either one or both may resonate for you in this group. But anyway, when it comes to manifesting your dreams, as well as believing in them definitely is a big thing that I want you to be able to do. I want you to be able to know that like you can actually do whatever you want. It's just about you having the wherewithal to be able to process your dreams and allow yourself that sort of pleasure in life too. Last deck. Actually, I have two more. Can I get one card for group 2? We have prosciutto coming out with the importance of words. So I love this card so much. Not only is the art beautiful, but obviously seeing the figure here torn between heart and mind kind of situation. So that may be kind of where you're at as well. You may be torn between these two thought processes and trying to decide what is going to help you the most during this time. So you making that decision, what is best for you. But again, the importance of words, opening up yourself to communication. There's some reason or something that you are going to need to communicate out into the world around you, and I feel like that is going to be very important for you during this time. It keeps cropping up, so just make sure that you are keeping yourself open during this time and allow yourself to use your voice. Don't hold back from the things that you would say. Obviously, like do it in a nice way, but like don't feel like you can't say something kind of thing. This is the time to get it all out there. This is the time to really put out what you've been feeling and let it be heard by whoever this party is. Also, how you speak to yourself during this time too. So if you're somebody who's torn between like, hey, do I really want to pursue my goal in becoming an artist kind of thing, like my dream that I had when I was a child, if you keep talking bad about yourself and keep talking down on yourself, you won't be able to reach that. So make sure that you are really filling yourself up with good positive affirmations during this time. The last card I pulled for you is you live in the quantum field of all possibilities, now act like it. So you do have all of these possibilities that are surrounding you in your life, and if you keep having this limited mindset of like, oh, this conversation is just going to go bad, or oh, I could never actually like pursue this dream, that is really hindering you. So just know that everything out there is for you. You just have to reach out and grab it. You just have to put in the work and realize that this is something that can be for you, my group 2s. So thank you guys so much for getting to the end of your reading. If you liked the reading or it resonated with you, of course, hit that like button. Click subscribe to join the Crow Coven and to not miss readings just like this one. And also, if you would feel so inclined to leave a comment, leave a sunflower emoji in the comments down below to let myself and others know that you did reach this point in your reading. And also let me know if this resonates with you, if maybe just the part about a person contacting you resonates, or if you are sort of trying to determine your best career choice, things like that. I would be so interested in finding out if this actually resonates with you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Hello group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at a situation that you're currently in and how we can take steps to navigate that situation. So what advice we can pull from Spirit, from the tarot, in order to help you make this a positive experience for you. So I'm going to go ahead and show off your gemstone. This is the zebra jasper that you guys chose to represent you. And really, this gemstone can really help with seeing past illusions. So if there is something going on where you're not quite sure if you have all the information or you just feel clouded kind of thing, that can really help you be able to look past all of those and make the proper decision for you. Before we get into the tarot portion, I am going to roll this astro dice so I don't forget. We're going to see if we can pull out your zodiac sign, your sun, moon, or rising, or perhaps somebody who is involved in this situation. We have the first one coming out as Cancer. Next we have Virgo. And lastly, we have Virgo. So strong Virgo energy coming through. There could be a need for you to ground yourself with us seeing that double earth sign that's popping through. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. So for group 3, Spirit, can you please tap into their energy? I hope you guys had an amazing week. Let's get into your situation. I'm going to pull both of these. Your situation and what you can do to help it. So the fact that those two flew out, the last couple groups I've pulled 3 cards, but I really feel called to pull 4 cards for you. So I am pulling one last one. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and look at these for you, group 3. So we have the 7 of Swords in the reverse position, the 2 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and then the King of Swords. So there's a lot when it comes to your mental state here. This could be highly affecting your mental state. It could be something that you are in between 2 minds of, as kind of the feeling that I'm getting for you. Overall though, I do feel like you're going to be making the proper decision for yourself. You're going to be able to really navigate this in a way that is going to benefit you the most. And why I'm seeing that is in the 7 of Swords reverse, this talks about you being able to break free from your mental struggles. You're going to be looking past the illusions that are currently bogging you down, and you're going to be able to make that proper decision. It talks also about mental clarity, so you're going to be able to move past that, but you are dealing with a challenge first. So it's not like this is something that like just suddenly sprang up on you and you're like, wow, yeah, that would be an amazing thing to pursue. I'm going to do that. And then it's just such an easy decision and you're able to just move right through it kind of thing. You know, there's going to be this feeling of you having to go through the motions, going through an obstacle of some sort before you come out on the other side. And that's just simply reinforced with this 2 of Wands here. It talks about this future planning and how there is a decision that needs to be made. So you are either deciding between 2 things, maybe you're deciding between more than 2 things, but really it's kind of like giving this feeling of like, do I go for a like tried and true method, or do I want to do something that is more inspirational to me and maybe a little bit more on the creative side? Because whenever we deal with wands, we deal with creativity. And so there is a need for you to decide maybe between like a 9 to 5 or you're doing freelance artwork, you know, like stuff like that. There's some pull one way or another that is really struggling and like making you struggle and having this hardship on your mind right now. But I do feel like you have this need to sit with it. You have to really prepare. You have to decide what is going to be best for you, because we're going into this 3 of Wands where this crow is looking off into the distance and they see this far off star, and that is giving them this hope for the future and this want to expand and be able to make this journey, but you need to really, really prepare. So if you are trying to make this decision, you're really leaning on your heart and you're going, you know, I really want to do something unconventional. I don't want to be stuck in a 9 to 5 kind of job. I think that you need to make a lot of time for yourself to sit down and plan your sort of like your plan of attack, like how you are going to go about this in order to bring about this successful future for yourself. And you have to really sit with it and know the ups and downs of it. So if you are planning on doing something that maybe is like highly documented, like there are people out there who have done this kind of thing, and you're like, I really want to learn from this person, I think that it would be really helpful for you to be able to somehow either talk with this person, if at all possible, like maybe somebody in your family has done this too. You need to like know the ups and downs. So if you're able to chat with them about this, that would be kind of the best thing that you could do for yourself during this time. Otherwise, if you're able to research what people go through when they do this, so like if you're somebody who's like, I kind of wonder if I want to start my own YouTube channel, there are tons of resources on YouTube on how to start a YouTube channel and how to make it succeed, because plenty of people start them. Whether or not they are successful or not is defined in their eyes, but for how you feel you want to succeed, you have to kind of really evaluate it at that level. If you're like, yeah, I would love to just be able to start a YouTube channel and see where it goes, great, that's easy. But if you're like, yeah, I want to get 1 million subscribers and be able to live on it, like on my own kind of thing, you really have to put in that work and know exactly what it is that you have to do in order to reach that point. So again, I've been blathering, but really, I think that one of the biggest messages is that you have to sit with yourself and find what is making you passionate, like going with what is giving you this energy and this love of life, and go toward that. So in the end, whatever decision you do make, I do see you having this King of Swords moment. You are the most clear thinking. You really have just this absolute authority to yourself, and you know your truth so much that by the end of this, you are going to feel completely in control. And this is going to be a mastery of your mental state. So while you may be starting here where you feel scattered and you have these mental challenges, I do feel like you're eventually going to reach this point, and it will bring about this mental clarity that is going to help you. So beautiful so far. What a beautiful start so far, guys. I really feel like whatever decision you do end up making, it is going to be the right one for you. So even through your ups and downs, just know that I feel that you are being supported by the universe. We have gifts coming through, and this card, I love when it comes through because it's just such a cute card, but it feels as if something is being brought to you. So some sort of goodness is being brought to you, whether that is good news or it is just simply a gift from the universe, you being able to tap into your skills, anything like that. It feels as if there is going to be a gift that is going to be sort of dropped into your lap, and it's going to maybe even help bring about this mental clarity. You're going to suddenly realize that, hey, I do have the power to be able to work on this for myself, and it's going to just really benefit you during this time. The next card that I pulled is Bond. So this may be you having a bond with either yourself, and it's you sort of realizing that you have the power to do anything that you want, and so you are binding yourself to this goal. Or this can be more obviously a sort of bond with another person. So this could be somebody who is a support system for you during this time, and they're really here to help support you, and they're not afraid to let you follow this journey and this dream of yours kind of thing. So I do think that there is some important bond that is going on during this time that is going to help push you through this. So some sort of support system. Look for a support system that is going to help you. Let's go ahead and pull a couple more cards for group 3. The first one, ooh, I pulled 2. You are just getting the like bonus cards galore this time in group 3. So the first one that I am seeing is Angelite, which it says support is all around you. So this is so cute. We were literally just talking about you having a support system. So there are people in your life who really truly want to see you succeed, and they want you to feel supported during this time. So just know that you have plenty of people who are rooting for you. Next, we have the smoky quartz, and it says, let it go. So whatever is holding you back from making this decision, try to release it, because I feel like you are having a hard time allowing yourself to maybe follow this unconventional path because you're simply afraid of what it could lead to, and you are needing to let go of this situation, because I feel like you having that mindset and holding you back is really making it so you can't see yourself as somebody who, like, oh, I can do this, like I can have this future for myself kind of thing. And you really have to break free of this mindset before you're going to get anywhere. Before you can work through your mental challenges and be able to make a decision in order to succeed, you first have to sit with yourself and get rid of this self-doubt, this imposter syndrome, which it will come back, but you need to really try to push that aside so you can truly shine. And there will be times where, yeah, it will ebb and flow. Your feelings of self-doubt or self-worth may come into question, or you may have this imposter syndrome like flare back up, but it's about being able to stand strong against it during those times that shows you your true worth and your true character. And so you making this decision that is like what you think is the best for yourself is the strongest thing that you can possibly do. So working through those mindsets, you definitely have to let something go before you're going to see any progress or movement when it comes to whatever the situation is. Let's go ahead and pull a couple more cards. So this is the self-care Oracle deck. So I'm going to pull one for you during this time. Can we get a self-care for group 3? Ooh, we were literally just talking about this. So positive affirmations. So on here, it's saying like, I love myself. I choose love, brave, beautiful, worthy, grateful, healthy, and happy. So these are all things that you need to really start to facilitate into like a routine, maybe even a morning routine. You can start speaking positive affirmations out loud to yourself in your mirror, like towards you, in that you are worthy of whatever this chance may bring, or that you deeply love yourself kind of thing, in order to really feel more fulfilled and feel more at ease with this situation. Because again, I feel like there's a lot of self-doubt when it comes to this, and this may be really like self-implanted as well, because we are seeing such a support system here for you. There are people that really truly believe that you can do whatever you set your mind to, but for some reason it keeps coming down to you needing to work through this mental block sort of thing. So there's something going on. I'm not sure completely what your situation is about, other than the fact that I believe there's a decision that you have to make that is going to benefit your future, and that I think you keep sort of saying like, oh, I can't do this, like I'm not going to be able to make it. But you do have the strength to make it. You do have the strength and power to be able to provide a better future for yourself. Can I get two of these cards, please, Spirit, for group 3? Ooh, this first one that flew out is Aries. So it says adventurous, confident, and driven. And I really think the power of Aries is very beneficial for you to hear during this time, because even if you aren't an Aries or have Aries in your chart, Aries are very like I do people. Like they go out there and they will do the thing. They will push themselves. They're very driven, they're very ambitious, and they're the ones that like to see things happen. So they can be very blunt. They can almost seem abrasive, but it's because they simply know what they want and they just go for it, kind of thing. And so I feel like that is kind of the energy that you need to really embody during this time, is you need to make sure that you have that confidence in yourself and drive yourself forward to whatever goal that you want. We're also seeing solar plexus with ambitious and self-confident. So you're really getting like beat over the head with this, where they want you to be ambitious and want more for yourself. They want you to tap into your self-confidence, because there are some skills that you have that you may not be tapping into during this time that can be helping you. And I think it's really important for you to be driven down that path, because I think that if there's something that keeps like prodding at you and keeps trying to pull something out of you, it means that that's the path you need to follow and go down. So again, I really think that you working on your self-confidence during this time is going to be crucial for you to succeed. So I know that's like the worst thing to hear from people who are not confident, because I am a not confident person in my day-to-day life at times, and I have to remind myself to be like, hey, no, you've got this, kind of thing. I have to kind of give myself those pep talks. But it was definitely a struggle when I was younger to really feed confidence into myself, and now I'm a lot better than I was when I was younger. But that's something that people will always struggle with. It's kind of that like fake it till you make it mindset. You want to make sure that you believe that you can do this, because if you don't have your back in this, no matter how much support you have from other people, you will not be able to see yourself in the way of like having the most positive outcome. So you need to just start working on your confidence now. Maybe look up YouTube videos on how to work on your confidence, or try to talk with other people who you think are confident. Be like, hey, how do you do it? Like, you need to find a way to feed into yourself. Maybe even saying that during your positive affirmations, just be like, I am strong and confident within myself. And that may be something that you can start to do that can help feed you and really nourish you during this time. Lastly, we have in Passione, we have honor your heart. So there is a need for you to follow who you truly want to be. Actually believing in yourself, following in your convictions and the things that you want out of life. If you're somebody that's like, I've never wanted to just sit back and like be alone, I've always wanted to like have a partner, like this is the time for you to make a decision to work on yourself in order to bring that person into your life, or a career, or anything like that. So whatever it is that you have that's in your heart that you are wanting to experience, you have to make sure that you are taking steps toward that. And lastly, this is so funny because I had never pulled this card until I got it in one of the previous groups, and I'm pulling it again for you. So I've never pulled this card until today, and it says, you are creator, and created that is the paradox of life and the key to alchemical creation. So there is this sort of overall message that like you are the person that is driving this. You are the person who is making the decisions and who's going to really be able to push yourself forward in life. So it's not up to anybody else. It's up to you to make this decision. So now is the time for you to get a hold of that and really honor yourself and know that you are going to be the one that pushes you toward that beautiful future that you are yearning for. So anyway, thank you guys so much, group number 3, for getting to the end of your reading. You have an amazing outcome, just a little bit of work that you have to do on yourself, but of course we are all always learning to improve ourselves. So if you liked this video or it resonates with you, of course, leave a like on the video and also hit subscribe to join the Crow Coven so you don't miss videos just like this one. And lastly, if you did get to the end of your reading and you'd like to let myself and others know, I'd say leave a sun emoji down in the comments below. And also let me know if this resonated with you, because it sounds amazing and I would love to hear if I kind of hit the nail on the head with this one. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching to the end, and I will see you all in the next video. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at a situation that you're currently in, and we're going to see if we can get information from Spirit on how best to navigate the situation and what steps you can take in order to give yourself a more positive outcome. So in this video, you guys chose this sunstone in order to represent you, and I'm just going to show this one off a little bit. And the sunstone can really help when it comes to needing to maintain or just in general have a very positive outlook when it comes to things. Being able to tap into kind of the innocence and that just more like happy-go-lucky kind of version of ourselves, it can really help during that time. So hopefully that can help you a little bit. Maybe it's trying to let you know to be a little bit more lighthearted during this situation, or at least inject more fun into your life during this time to help you during this stressful time. So I'm also going to roll this astro dice now so I don't forget it. This may be your sun, moon, or rising, or perhaps somebody who's involved in this situation. The first one we're seeing coming out is Scorpio. Next we have Leo. And lastly, we have Gemini. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the tarot. So I hope you guys had an amazing week. Please, Spirit, can we tap into a group 4? And let's see what we can pull for their situation, whether this is about their situation or just straight up advice. Just get right into it. The first card we're seeing is the Lovers in the reverse position, and I'm feeling very inclined to pull multiple cards immediately, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We also have the Ace of Wands in the reverse position, the Empress in the reverse position. I've got one more coming out too, so Strength in the reverse position. Okay, so this is very, very strong. We're seeing so many major arcanas that just came out like one after the other. And so I really feel like this is a situation that is affecting you deeply, and you have to really navigate something, just something important in general. This is just very important to you. And I'm getting this overall feeling that this is a lot of like inner healing work that needs to be done. With the Lovers reverse coming out, this could very well deal with a romantic relationship, and maybe you guys are not seeing eye to eye. Perhaps you just broke up. There's a lot that can show this imbalance within an actual like set relationship, and maybe this lack of confidence within yourself is kind of what has brought about this sort of disintegration of the relationship. But for the most part, the vibe that I'm getting is that this is more of a self thing, because sometimes I will read the Lovers reversed as more of a like self-care kind of card. So instead of it being about a like failing relationship, or there's like disharmony within a union of two people, it almost feels like a disharmony within yourself. So take that as it resonates, whichever way this is really calling for you, or whatever way the situation is calling, we will go forward with that in mind. But overall, the feeling that I'm seeing is that there is some sort of discontent that's happening that is really causing this sort of struggle, and it's really causing things to feel very weighed down and as if there's like some sort of delay coming into your life. So it feels like you're just sort of like maybe at a crossroads. You're at like a stopping point where you're like, what do I do next? Like, do I have anything out there for me? And you're kind of feeling like you just don't have any motivation to do better for yourself, because you're just like, this is how it's always been, or this is how it's always going to be. And of course it's going to be a struggle, because like, it's me, it's my life. Like, this is just how life goes for me, kind of thing. It feels almost like that. And so when it comes to that, that means there's this heavy disconnect between yourself and your like confidence and your intuition as well. And we're seeing that a little bit with the Empress reversed, is like it feels almost like you are having to rely on other people a lot. And that might be something that you're either not used to, or you simply do not want to be depending on other people, but it feels like right now you almost have to. And this could be you falling out of touch with more of like your feminine side. This could be you falling away from feeling stable or secure. Like, maybe you feel as if you don't have right now other people around you who are able to support you in the way that you need to be supported. So you're trying to reach out for that dependence for that, like, from them, and you're just not getting that back. And that is causing you to feel really out of whack right now. It could also be that like this situation is dealing with you having to depend on other people to do their job, kind of thing. So say you are currently like up for promotion, kind of thing, and you need your like higher up to like push your papers towards their higher up, who makes the decisions on if you get the promotion or not. And they're just sitting there like, they're just sitting on their hands. They're not really doing anything. They're like, oh, I'm busy and it's a busy time of the work year, and blah, 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 all these other excuses, kind of thing. And because they're not doing their part of the job, it's not reaching that point. And so you're sitting there struggling, because you're just like, I can't do anything more about it, kind of thing. I can't push this person to actually do their job. So this could be issues revolving perhaps somebody not doing like their paperwork correctly, or they're really going about it in such a slow fashion that it's making things really bogged down for you. And because of this dependence on other people, where you can't just be the one to like jump up and do this, it's really pulling away from your confidence. And we're seeing that a little bit here in Strength Reversed. There's this need for you to tap into your inner strength, but there is this self-doubt and this feeling of like weakness right now, where you just feel as if like nothing is going right for you, kind of thing. So overall, this feeling is just, it's very, very strong. And I didn't want to like cut any like corners or try to like sugarcoat anything when it came to this, because I want you to know that it's okay to feel these things. It's okay to feel this way and to feel completely out of sorts right now, especially with whatever it is that you are going through. It just feels very, very strong and hard to navigate, I would say. So because we're seeing a lot of cards that are discussing this, I'm actually going to pull a few more tarot cards. So this is, your group is going to be a little bit, wrong deck, a little bit more unique than the other groups, because I really want to kind of see if we can get advice for you, because this feels kind of like what you're going through and not necessarily advice, other than treat yourself with kindness, give yourself a lot more self-care than you've been currently for yourself. With the Ace of Wands reversed, is like, while there are delays, something will eventually break, and there may be a time for you to have this new beginning coming about. With the Empress, trying to believe in yourself and really moving back to a kind of era of abundance. Hopefully that will come to you, and try to know that that will come back for you. And then again, tapping into that sort of inner strength in order to really help you navigate this. So let's go ahead and pull a few more cards. Can we get advice, Spirit, for group 4 on how to navigate the situation? Yes, the first one is the Sun. This is beautiful. This is a great card to come out for you guys. So the Sun is actually represented by Leo as well. I know we had seen that as one of the zodiac signs that came through. We're seeing Gemini with the Lovers here as well. So there is this strength that you will be able to tap into. Some advice is to, again, we talked about sunstone too, is like there's this need for you to have this positive like thought process. The Sun talks about positivity, about success and warmth, vibrancy, all of those things. It brings about good times. It brings about this heralding almost of newness into your life, and like sort of like the sun always sets, but it also always rises kind of thing. So there is some sort of cyclical thing that's going on, and this feeling of this warmth and love and energy coming back to your life. So I'd say advice-wise is just knowing that it will come back for you. It just may be that you are going through a bit of a struggle first. Can we get another card, please, Spirit, for group 4? We're also seeing the World in reverse. This is a wild amount of major arcana cards. Like, honestly, you guys have 5 major arcana cards in your tarot portion. So just know that Spirit is there with you, and this is a very intense situation, so don't feel like your feelings about whatever you're going through is invalidated, because whatever it is, whether it's a really messy, horrible breakup, or you are going through an issue where you may potentially become homeless, or you may lose your job, which would put things at risk, or something to do with your health, like whatever it is that you're going through, it is very strong and impactful, and it is something that would be hard for anybody to be going through. So just know that you need to give yourself a lot more grace for what you are going through. It's not your fault, and you need to just remind yourself of that, and just know that you will eventually get to that point. But with the World in the reverse position, it does talk about how there is kind of something that either needs to be completed or will eventually come to completion, but not yet. You're not there quite yet. So I feel like some of the advice that I'd like to bestow upon you is the feeling of just persevering. Because as you are going to go about this situation, you do have the Sun here as this positive affirmation that good times will be coming back to you. It's just not quite there yet. There's this lack of completion. It will eventually get to that point. And so you just have to keep pushing yourself forward. Again, tapping into that inner strength and giving yourself a lot of self-care during this time is going to really help you and make a world of difference when it comes to having to get to this point. The World reverse can also talk about sort of like a lack of movement, because the World in the upright position talks about travel, and so there may be a need for you to kind of stay where you're at. If you're like afraid of, if you were sitting there in your mind being like, oh, what if I just like up and left kind of thing, like if I moved cities or something like that, this almost feels like you need to stay where you're at currently. Like this has the best sort of opportunities for you. If that sounds like wild though, like if you're like absolutely not, like I need to get out of here kind of thing because there's nothing left for me here, like why would I stay in this place kind of thing, it may just be a delay though in being able to travel, like being able to move kind of thing. There may be just a little bit more work that needs to be done before you get to that point, but it will eventually reach you. So I want to pull a few more cards for you, group 1. Or sorry, you're not group 1, you're group 4. I've done all these in a row. my mouth is trying to move faster than my brain. The first one that I am pulling is fear. So you do have this intrinsic fear that's inside of you that is really trying to hold you back from this. So you just have to remind yourself that the fear is just something that is trying to stop you from being able to experience something new and be able to grow positively. Like this crow here is overcoming its fear of the scarecrow. It's standing on top of it and trying to call out to the other crows like, hey, there's nothing to be afraid of. This thing didn't do anything to me, so it's not going to do anything to any of you. So just kind of go about your life like that as well, being brave enough to stand up for yourself and what you believe and what you want in order to make that progress. We also have Sodalite coming through with Speak Your Truth. So there may be a need for you to have a discussion with someone, or maybe even just talking it out with a friend. Maybe there are people in your life that don't know the struggles that you're going through and you just need to unload kind of thing. Friends should be there to be able to help support you during those times. So if you haven't been able to be truthful about your situation, they might have really great advice for you. So try to reach out to people who you believe support you and see if they can help you. Also, speaking your truth in the way of like you putting out there like what it is that you truly want out of life and trying to speak into those sort of positive affirmations kind of thing. Try to be like, hey, like I deserve these things, and just keep speaking it out there and it'll eventually come to you. Next, we have clear quartz with Get Crystal Clear. So with this, it could be that there was a lack of communication or a lack of almost like you having the knowledge that you need in order to make a decision. And with this clear quartz here is that it's trying to get you to be able to speak that truth out to perhaps another person and be able to get all the information you need from this person. So these two may be important for you. Like if you are trying to rely on somebody and they're not doing their work or their paperwork properly kind of thing, it may be time for you to bring that up and be like, hey, you know, what's going on with this? Because I'm not seeing any change and I really need to know what's happening because it is affecting my life kind of thing. Can we get some more messages for group 4? We have Compass, which says follow your inner compass. So knowing that you are going to be the one that drives you towards this sun moment here, following what speaks to you. So the things that are drawing you towards your passions and drawing you towards kind of that right path, making sure that you are actually following that intuition within you instead of allowing it to pass you by. We also have with Waning Gibbous, it says, I make space and release. So there may be a need for you to sort of kind of release that fear that you are holding on to, or maybe any past pain that you could potentially have. It's a need for you to finally open up and really allow this past like pain to fall away from you. So if you have been affected by somebody in your past extremely like deeply kind of thing, they still have this hold on you and you need to like let go of this person in order to make a more positive change in your life. Can I please get one more card? Actually, I want two of these, you know. Group 4, you deserve two self-care cards because there's a lot going on. So the first one we're seeing is Be Still. I just dropped it. So Be Still. So you making time for yourself to sit there and actually recognize what you're going through and pausing your life for a moment to see what you have in your life that is good and what you want to keep versus the things that you want to release. Not taking on more as well. So be still, try not to take on even more responsibilities during this time, simply because I don't think you have the bandwidth for it, and you want to make sure that you are working through this. Can I please get one more self-care card for group 4? We also have write a gratitude list. So sit down and figure out the things that you are actually grateful for. So this could be a one-time exercise, or you could start to implement this as a thing that you do every day when you're waking up. Sit down and write 3 things that you are grateful for, and try to make them things that aren't you don't put the same 3 things every single day. Try to do completely different things every time you do it in order to see if you can find the things in your life that you're super, super grateful for, and just know how much is around you that you are grateful for. Could I please get one last card for group 4? Ooh, we're seeing in the Giorno Giovanna card here, we're seeing Arise Anew. So in this card, it is very much about you tapping into your hope, tapping into this positive like affirmation sort of thing. You're able to transition your life from one thing to the other. And as the figure in the card is coming out of this cocoon with these beautiful butterfly wings, you too are someone who can have that for yourself, or need to do that for yourself as well in order to kind of navigate the situation. So just know that you are sort of the person that is going to be guiding this. And whatever troubles that may come your way and may be causing you like this pain, you absolutely are going to be able to see it on the other side. You're going to be able to come out on the other side. We're going to tap into this sun energy, and you're going to have this newness in your life. We also have this card here that flew right out that says Victim of Circumstances or Master of Frequency, your choice. So you need to make sure that you aren't falling into kind of this victim mindset. It can be very, very hard when to toe that line, because you're like, I do feel bad because I'm going through horrible stuff, but I'm also like, you know, like, did this happen to me, and am I just supposed to suffer these things over and over again? Or am I going to instead turn this into a positive and try to change my life for the better now that I have the information that has come to me? So trying to really become the master of your life and know that it is up to you in order to make these decisions. Yes, you're allowed to feel bad for yourself. I don't want you to think that you're not, and think like, oh, you're just playing the victim and like blah, blah, blah kind of thing. Like, you probably hear it from other people, and it's not helpful to constantly hear that. But do know that you can take this circumstance that you're in, and you can learn from it and change it for the better. You just have to be very creative about it. I think there's something that you need to navigate within yourself that you have to figure out before you're able to come out on the other side a bit stronger. So thank you guys so much for getting to the end of your reading. I spent a little bit more time on you guys because I wanted to make sure you got all the messages that you possibly could during this, and hopefully some of them were able to help you, because I do feel like you guys have kind of the short end of the stick here when it comes to all of the groups. It feels like you're going through something very, very extremely harsh. So of course, if you want to and you feel safe to do so, you can share that in the comments to kind of just have me as a sounding board kind of thing, just to get it out there into the universe if you feel called to do that. But if you liked this reading, you'd like to show your support, of course, hit that like button to show that it resonated with you. Also, hit subscribe to join the Crow Coven so you don't miss other readings just like this one. And lastly, with your comments, add a sun emoji to let myself and others know that you did get to the end of your reading, and also to hopefully push out that sort of positive sun energy, and hopefully it'll come back to you. And feel free, of course, to share your story. Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of your reading, and I will see you in the next video.